Good afternoon. My personal cheering section. Good afternoon. My name is Michael Fromm, and I'm chair of Alvernia's Board of Trustees. I want to thank you all for joining us on this truly historic day for Alvernia University and for the city of Reading. I'll admit I've used the word historic in a few previous addresses to describe the College Town Initiative. And yet, with every visit to this hub for economic development, with every announcement of a new community engagement partner, and perhaps most importantly, with every addition of a new experiential learning opportunity for our students, I always seem to return to the word historic to describe this project. This is not just a building. This is a catalyst for transformation. We're truly gratified to have a large gathering of the Alvernia family, my fellow trustees, public officials, community members, media, and guests, with us to celebrate as we officially open the new downtown Reading home for our university. I'd also like to welcome those in our community who are watching virtually and hope you'll be able to see this remarkable facility in person in the near future. As is customary at all Alvernia gatherings, we'll begin this event with a mission moment. I'd like to welcome the Congregational Minister for the Bernardine Franciscan Sisters, Sister Marilisa da Silva, to the podium. Sister.
Good afternoon. Early in his conversion, St. Francis of Assisi was praying before a Byzantine image of the crucified Lord in the church of San Damiano. When he heard a voice speaking from the cross, "Francis, go repair my house, which, as you see, is falling into ruin." Taking the words literally, Francis immediately started to rebuild the crumbling walls of the broken down church. As men began to join him in this task, he understood that he was being asked to rebuild God's whole church, which was in great need of spiritual reform. We celebrate today this important, meaningful step in the history of Alvernia University, proclaiming the universal Franciscan message of peace and all good to all people. We can rise above chaos and grasp this truth of our humanity. Our lives have a purpose, and we must live and work together for the common good of all. The mission of Alvernia offers the academic community and the city of Reading core Christian values that will guide us in this journey: service, humility, peacemaking, contemplation, and collegiality. These values will connect Alvernia with the city of Reading, surpassing the walls as we open the doors to College Town, where students can build a community of lifelong learners who will love, live, and serve in the spirit of St. Francis of Assisi. Now I invite John.
Uh-oh. Technical difficulties. Well, welcome everybody. You've heard me talk about this for how long? You're probably tired of hearing me talk about it, but here it is. A great day for Alvernia University, a great day for the city of Reading. I'm going to start with quotes. I always like to do that. Anybody women's soccer fans, U.S. women's soccer fans? You know Abby Wambach? So this is what Abby says. I've never scored a goal in my life without getting a pass from someone else. This project is all about people working together and those passes that brought it together so we could be here today. So I'm going to tell some stories out of school. I'm probably going to get in trouble. And I'm going to start with Mike Fromm. Where's Mike? There's Mike. Mike knows this story well. On a snowy day in November, when we were supposed to be at the Berkshire Country Club with all the trustees and their spouses, in the interview process, we wound up at the Doubletree, 6 or 7 of us, and talked till 10 or 11 o'clock at night. And frankly, that's where College Town was born. That's where the concept came from. And that's when it was first discussed. And no better place for that to have happened than the Doubletree Hotel in downtown Reading. Because if there's one thing I've learned since I've gotten into town, and frankly even before I got into town because I live there, Craig Poole knows how to do this right. And having conceived it there and used him as a mentor over these last 2 years to get to where we are today, I have to thank both Mike and Craig and the rest of the trustees who were part of that conversation. Fast forward to June, right before I started on July 1st, we had a board retreat. And it was the first time I got to spend time with the trustees, just the new president and the trustees. And I had a pack of material and brochures and 5 things that we needed to talk about. But of course, College Town was on the list. And as should have been some of the conversation, it was like, well, why would we invest in downtown? It's far away from the 18th Ward. Cities have problems. And Sister Mary Lisa at the end stood up and said, Reading is where our mission started. These are our people. Reading for us is like going home. And for then and for that day forward, the mission of the Bernadine Sisters has been wrapped into what we're doing in College Town, including the fact that their ESL and GED programs are now here in this facility with us as one of our partners. Senator Judy Schwenk and I met first in her office while I was doing transition, but when I got into town, I quickly brought John Udicek, our senator from northeastern Pennsylvania, to town because I wanted to get a small community forum together. Some of you in the audience were there and part of it, obviously Judy was, where we talked about College Town and how that worked in northeastern Pennsylvania and how it turned broken glass into restaurants and new apartments and how the city had transformed itself. But it all started with investments from the 2 colleges. And as we were ending a long and I thought pretty exciting conversation, at least from my perspective, Judy and I were walking out together and Judy said to me, you know, John, I think I get this. This really is different than just a college project. So I hope you feel that way today as we bring it to light. Christian Leinbach and the county commissioners, buying this building was no easy thing to do. Lawsuits, bad feelings, and frankly, we needed a lot of support from the city council, from the mayor's office, from the county commissioners. And the county commissioners were with us from the very, very beginning. Saw the vision, understood what we were trying to do, and helped us get roadblocks out of the way to actually make it happen. So Christian, my thanks to you and the county commissioners for what you have done. We couldn't be here today without you. Now I have to tell a little story about Mayor Moran and Dr. Mameen. So I think they didn't really trust what I was saying, but somewhere in my 6 months of transition, I got bored and I started bringing people to northeastern Pennsylvania because people would say, College Town, well, tell me about it. And I'm like, oh, why don't you just come up and see what we've done? So on the last trip of people coming from Berks County of 13, in a car or a van, I can't remember the story exactly, was Eddie Moran and Khalid Mumin. Because I think, again, they were trying to say, does this guy know what he's talking about? Does this stuff really happen? Is this for real? And sure enough, they came up. There were 35 of us, all kinds of government officials from northeastern Pennsylvania, some of the trustees who hadn't had a chance to see it, and Khalid and the mayor. And I know from both of them in private conversations, they went back and sat and right back and said, maybe this guy actually knows what he's talking about. And here we are. So hopefully the proof is in the pudding. Johanny and Lucine and City Council, a lot of this talk revolves around cold weather and snow, but on a cold November evening, I had a session for the first time with City Council. A lot of things in the city had to change to make this project happen. Zoning rules, planning rules, parking rules, none of this could have happened without it. And at that evening, having that discussion with City Council and City Council's unanimous support for trying to make some of the changes that needed to be made, which, by the way, just don't benefit Alvernia University or the College Town project, but all of the projects that you now see happening, over 1 million square feet of new projects in old buildings in downtown Reading, couldn't have happened without those changes. So we thank City Council. I have to thank Manny for helping put us on the map. He had over 20 representatives here. We were on the roof of the building while it was still under construction. It looks a little better today than it did back then, but it was kind of neat. We were all taking in the city of Reading and talking about some of the wonderful things that EDS, MEDS, and cities can do together to create economic redevelopment. And last, and probably my favorite story because it involves a cigar, is how I met David Turner. David's going to talk to us today and is a First Energy person. And I just happened to be with a couple of people I knew at the Suburban Tavern having a cigar. And we started a College Town conversation because wherever I go, no matter who I see, whether I know you or not, once somebody knows you're the president from Alvernia, the next words out of their mouth is, oh, how's that College Town project going? So we were talking. Long after that broke up, David and I were still there smoking a cigar, talking about the synergies of College Town to the corporations and employers here, not just in the city of Reading, but Berks County and the region. And since then, we've developed quite a partnership between the two, one of our many corporate partnerships. David is a great example. But again, one of those things where people working together can get many things done. Oops. So the Beatles sang, I get by with a little help from my friends, and we'd never be here today without all of our friends and partners. There are so many of you in the audience today that I could tell stories just like that, but if we did it, we'd be here until the first snow. So I'm going to end with this thought. This actually comes from Henry Ford. Coming together is a beginning. Staying together is progress, and we've certainly made a lot of progress. And working together, I hope it's not serious. Working together is success. The greatest success of College Town is not buildings or programs or redevelopment or students or citizens. It is that we all are working together to make all of those things better. That's where the success is. All of you are the success, and we couldn't have done it without you. And frankly, this is just the beginning. I could spend 30 minutes telling you about phase 2 of College Town, but I'm not going to do that because today is a day to celebrate and to recognize achievement and partnership and accomplishment, and I want to thank all of you. And with that, I'm going to introduce Senator Judy Schwank.
Everything is working out here today, right? Lovely breeze coming through. Amazing how quickly, if you recall, when we were here, back when this started, when we were bashing the wall in, John and Michael, and you go inside, you will be astounded at the progress that has been made there. It's just incredible. To say that I'm happy to be here is just an understatement. And in terms of saying what you did, Michael, about this being transformative, it's transformation on steroids. this, and maybe it sounds a little bit too over-enthusiastic, but I think I can't be, because this project is so important to us. Look, Alvernia has had a long history in our community. We know the ability of this institution as to change our community. There has been no doubt about it. So when John came along and talked about a project that would even further the mission of the institution, but also look at our entire community. I'm not just talking the city, certainly the city, but even more, our greater Reading region. That had a lot of credibility in it, and a lot of us got on board pretty quickly. You know, I have some experience in higher education. One of the things that is really a theme in higher ed is experiential learning. This will really be probably one of the best examples of experiential learning in higher education today. These students not only will have the opportunity to be learning here right in an urban environment, but to participate in the community, to participate in the businesses that are associated with the work that they're doing. I already made a connection with a student who wants to intern in my office, and I know she was right there. So I think that's just the beginning of the good things that will happen here today. These opportunities within the city is a game changer for a lot of people. It'll be educational opportunities, obviously. It'll be opportunities for entrepreneurship, for our businesses to thrive. It checks so many boxes in terms of what we need to see happen in this community. It's going to be helpful, certainly in terms of education, in economic development, revitalization, and I'll finish by saying revitalization, re-energizing us to what can happen here. Projects like this don't come along every day, do they? But this is one we should celebrate. This is one that we should continue to work towards, to expand upon the opportunities. You made me a believer, John. I truly am, and I look forward to seeing how we continue, not only to make this work the best that it can, but also to see how it expands, and how those opportunities spread out into our community. Good work, everybody. Thank you so much. And now I would like to introduce my partner up in Harrisburg, State Representative Manny Guzman. Manny?
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you, Senator Schwenk. Thank you, John. Thank you, Alvernia University, for picking Reading, Pennsylvania. I'm very, very much excited about this project. All of you know that the city of Reading, we've had some really tough times over the last couple of years. But I believe in our future. And I know that Alvernia believes in our future. So I am forever hopeful that this building will serve as an anchor for our community, for the things to come. And to the Reading community, let me give you a fair warning on what's to come. This is just the start of our reimagining and reinvention of the city of Reading. Every year moving forward and from here on out, we will add just another piece. And eventually, 5-10 years from now, this city will be a place where hardly anyone recognizes it before. And so I'm looking forward to partnering with our state delegation, to partnering with our county commissioners, to partnering with our city council and our city government to ensure that Reading is open for business, to ensure that we bring the best and the brightest to the city of Reading, and then to also ensure that all of our doors are open to equal access to all of our residents. So my commitment, John, is this, and I'm going to end my comments very succinctly because it's been a hell of a long day in Harrisburg, as I'm sure Senator Schwenk can tell you. You and Representative Manny Guzman, you have a partner. You have someone who's willing to go to bat for each and every one of your residents, for each and every one of your students. And please reach out to our office, reach out to Senator Judy Schwenk's office, and let us go to bat for you and making sure that we go after every single dollar that not only the city of Reading is entitled to, but that Alvernia University will be entitled to, and that our downtown corridor will be entitled to as well. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is just the start of something much bigger, and I'm looking forward to working with all of you to making that a reality moving forward. Thank you so much for your time. And now, I'd like to introduce our partner, and this is somebody who needs no introduction, but I'm going to do my best to try to introduce him anyway. Our mayor, Eddie Moran. The mayor has always been there with us every step of the way. When he and I met, John, actually, I wasn't even a state representative then. I was a campaign volunteer for Mayor Moran's campaign, and we met and we talked about the Alvernia project and its very early days of infancy. And I know that Mayor Moran will be and continues to be a partner for Alvernia University, and will be the cheerleader that we need to bring back all the resources that you need in order to be prosperity. Thank you. Come on up, Mayor.
Thank you so much, State Rep Manny Guzman. And you have a very good recollection, the same as John. Let me start with John's recollection. You are 100%. I'm like, wow, you remember that? Yeah, we were with Dr. Mean and myself and one or two other individuals. And yes, I came back and said, man, this is it. You got it. We want it. And yes, State Rep, good recollection. I actually was in the middle of a campaign when I saw on the front page of the Reading newspaper, College Town potentially could come to downtown Reading. And I'm like, thank you. I looked up in the skies because I've been campaigning in that. I have been campaigning saying that, you know, as a school board director, it hurt me when I saw our kids taking post-secondary education far out from our communities. And me, myself, having a young man getting ready to go to college, didn't want to go and see him too far out and potentially have him stay out there. And then having me follow him to keep close to the family. So education was definitely a big reason why I decided to be in the position I'm in today. In fact, today has been a day that we all have been anticipating. As many of you already know, at the beginning of my administration, I introduced foundational pillars for our administration. You may also know that I believe action speaks louder than words. Today we are about to unveil a great example of collaboration and a successful partnership, to say the least. Together, we can accomplish anything. And anything is possible when we put the people's first, our students first. And in this case, I say education first. Along with education, workforce development is also listed as one of our administration's foundational pillars. So why this particular pillar is so important to me? The answer is very simple, folks. Education is the key to break patterns of oppression, inequalities, and providing our youth the tools to become whatever they want. You know what? Let me read that again. The answer is simple. Education is the key to break patterns of oppression, inequalities, and providing our youth the tools to become whatever they want. College Town is not only going to bring economic development to a thriving downtown, but also is not to bring foot traffic, tourism, and students from abroad. It brings visibility. It allows anyone passing by to see possibilities of completing higher education right here in the backyards. Yes, of course, there are financial responsibilities when it comes to higher education. But we also need to change the narrative and remind our youth that everything is possible. One thing for sure, we need to advocate and inspire more of our youth to pursue higher education. They need to hear that they are worthy, that College Town is for them too. So please help me spread that word to our students. Many of you know that I serve as a school board director for 6 years, and education is a passion of mine. In fact, it is my hope to see our local youth seek post-secondary education locally in our community. They are our greatest assets, and we can keep our students right here. We can, we are, and we will continue building a better Reading together. Thank you. It is with great pleasure that I get to ask and introduce to come to the podium an amazing councilwoman that is also the owner of Mi Casa Su Casa right down the block, Ms. Johanny Freites Cepeda.
Good afternoon, saludos, bienvenidos. Exciting day today. What a great day in the beginning of greater days to come. Before I continue, I would like all members of City Council to please join me, right? It's a great day for our city, not just District 6. For those of you that don't know, this is part of District 6. I am your representative. So come on up before I continue, please. Lucine, I saw you back there somewhere. So we share Alvernia in District 1 and 6, so come on down, because you played a major role in this development as well. You know, when I look around the room, and everyone, please look around, look at the partners, look at the collaborators, look at what community looks like. Mr. Former Mayor Tom McMahon, are you proud of us, huh? Let's give a shout out and a round of applause for Mayor McMahon. Come on down and join us, come on. So on behalf of El Vecindario, les damos la bienvenida. Welcome to our neighborhood, because we're also neighbors. I am right down the street. Thank you for all the great work that Alvernia, the team, the staff, faculty, students continues to do in our city. Thank you for expanding into our downtown. Thank you for, gosh, what's to come. I'm so excited. You know, I believe in our future. I've always seen the city of Reading at potential. And every day I feel so much prouder to be a part of this community. So without further ado, I'd like to offer you a commendation on behalf of City Council. And I'm not wearing my glasses, great. I will do my best. Today we celebrate the ribbon cutting of Alvernia University's college town. Whereas Alvernia University is a thriving university that empowers students to become ethical leaders with moral courage while providing an intellectually challenging environment with real-world learning experiences. And whereas Alvernia University's founders, the Bernardine Franciscan Sisters, have provided educational and social services to the residents of downtown Reading for more than 100 years. Given the success of the Reading Collegiate Scholars and College Readiness programs, the move downtown is a natural progression for the university. And whereas Alvernia University's College Town is a strategy and model to champion economic redevelopment through partnerships and collaboration with the city of Reading. And whereas College Town includes academic programs, a business incubator, state-of-the-art media studio, podcasting stations, the student-run newspaper, and student housing for up to 200 students. And whereas College Town also includes a community gathering place and lounge area, high-tech general-purpose classrooms, space for the university's esports team, and cutting-edge labs. Now, therefore, the Council of the City of Reading commends as follows. The City of Reading City Council urges all citizens and community members to recognize Alvernia University and College Town and to honor the dedication and commitment of Alvernia University for their devotion to the youth of the city and Berks County. Congratulations, many an abundance of blessings to you all. Thank you. And now I get to introduce our county commissioners, Mr. Lineback. Come on down, thank you.
Thank you, Johanny. I also want to recognize Commissioner Michael Rivera. I know he's there, he's waving in the back. He's here. I'm also representing Commissioner Kevin Barnhart. I don't know if you remember, John, although I think you do. The first time we met, we were at an event hosted by El Sayed El Marzuki at the Queen City restaurant that he used to do every November. That's when I first met John Loyak, because he was there very early in his time in Berks County, volunteering and serving people. At the heart of College Town, it's about serving people, about serving students. And you can't serve if that servant leadership isn't led by the example of somebody like John. That left an impression on me, and I became involved right away in doing whatever I was able to do as one of the partners. And today is not just about servant leadership, it's about partnerships. Partnerships with the private sector. I see Dr. Ridley. What you're going to be doing here in meshing education, students, and the private sector to fundamentally change the lives of the students, but change this community is important. Partnerships with the political community. You've met many of the leaders. Have you ever seen so many political leaders from various levels of government so excited about something like College Town? And partnerships with local nonprofits. Donna Reed and I both are active participants. I'm on the board of BCTV. In the midst of this effort, Alvernia put together a once-in-a-lifetime agreement and partnership with BCTV. And today you'll see the BCTV studios are part of College Town. But there is one more amazing thing. And it goes back to the sister. Miracles do still happen. Because all of the dream, all of the vision took place before March of 2020. March of 2020, everything changed. Things shut down left and right. Michael Fromm and I were talking about construction, and Michael knows a little bit about that as a major supplier to the construction industry. There were all types of supply chain shortages, breakdowns. There are all kinds of reasons why we shouldn't be here today. Why this project wouldn't have been completed on time to begin this semester. And losing a semester, make no mistake about it, would have been not just financially damaging, it would have damaged the brand, the vision, and the promise. I'd love to say the miracle is because of the people. Politicians would love to say it's because of the politicians. But none of us create miracles, God does. And College Town, being here today with this ribbon cutting, make no mistake about it, is a pandemic miracle. Thank you for your involvement. Thank you, God. And God bless this program and the students that will have the opportunity to participate in College Town. Thank you.
This is such an exciting day, not only for Berks County, but for the city of Reading, and of course, selfishly, the Reading School District. Because with the leadership of President Loyac, he made this dream a reality. And one thing that I found with being skeptical at first when meeting President Loyac, I left that meeting knowing that I had a true friend. And I just said to him, and we say a lot of sayings and a lot of cliches, I said, you can't lead what you don't know, and you can't build or lead where you're afraid to go. John is an example of that fearless, doggish courage that it takes to have an idea and make it reality. College Town has been built on tremendous vision, patience, perseverance, support, and the undying commitment for the scholars of Alvernia University to look to the future with new vision, because tomorrow is not yesterday. Talking about some of those scholars, I met a phenomenal scholar less than an hour ago, Sean Gamble. right here to my right. He's a field representative for Congressman Dan Musser. Now here's the deal. Sean is right here in the city of Reading, here in the county, and making an impact. Sean is from my neighborhood in Logan, in Philadelphia. He could easily go back home, but he has chosen to stay here because he has looked to the future with new vision, because tomorrow is not yesterday. I'm so proud because now our Reading School District graduates now have a very tangible opportunity that they can reach out and touch, where they can look to the future with new vision, right here in downtown Reading. Having access to world-class facilities, top-notch professional pedagogy and instruction, and being surrounded by a community of partners that care. Most important, College Town to me, in Alvernia University, it is the epitome of hope. And when I talk of hope as in an acronym: health, open access, passionate action, and empathy. That's what's surrounding us right here. The health and safety of us all. Open advocacy, passionate action, and empathy. So I say, thank you, President Loyatt. Thank you. You have a friend for life. Thank you for having me on the Board of Trustees where I can see how the sausage is made. And thank you. Godspeed to great education, economic development, and global impact and success for the students of Alvernia University. Thank you so much. It's my pleasure to welcome to the podium Alvernia's Senior Vice President and Provost, Dr. Glenis Fitzgerald.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Momin. Let me start by thanking the team at Warfel and EthoSource for their work over the past year to get this building ready for the start of this semester. With all the challenges we faced, given our ambitious timeline during COVID-19, it was worth it to see our students live and learn in these halls these last few weeks. We look forward to our continued work together. This facility houses fantastic opportunities for Alvernia, and we can already see the benefits provided to our students. Our communication students are able to learn through the conversations they'll have in the hallways with BCTV, our faculty, and our friends at La Mega. Our business students are engaging with their faculty in these new technology-filled classrooms and interacting with the new tenants in our Opaque Institute and the Community First Fund. These students have already made the building and community their home, and nothing gives us greater pleasure than watching them sit and study, drink coffee, and talk to one another in these important spaces that we've built together. The students, faculty, and community members chatting, collaborating, studying together. This building is so much alive already. And with the opening of Starbucks just a few weeks away, the building is sure to get an extra perk up. As we continue our progress in retrofitting the building, we see the future for the collaboration and partnership in this space. We have new specialized technology-rich facilities for our mechanical, electrical, and industrial engineering programs, and our business and communication programs will bring an abundance of new opportunities. Make no mistake, bringing these programs together intentionally creates opportunities for collaboration and innovation. Throughout the design-build process, we often made the conscious decision not to build our own, but to seek out partners in the community where we would work together. Alvernia's faculty and students will greatly benefit from the new living and learning spaces and the downtown energy to prepare the leaders of tomorrow and help reinvigorate economic development here on Penn Street.
As our faculty settle into their new offices, they're excited about the move to College Town and the positive impact it will offer the learning experience for our students, as well as their own opportunities for scholarship and academic practical research and partnerships. There have been so many happy tears shed in these last few weeks, but I know President Loyak, John McCluskey, and myself were never so proud as when our beloved Bernardine Franciscan Sisters Mother Veronica Center held their first citizenship classes and English language classes here last week. Community is truly the heart of these wonderful organizations that we get to work with together in this building every day. It's a perfect fit for this community-based facility. I'll close by thanking our wonderful faculty and students for sharing their input during the planning and construction of these spaces and for already making this building feel authentically Alvernia. Alvernia students are our future. They're the future leader in the professions they're studying. They're the future leaders of the communities they are learning to serve. And this building and the learning that takes place in it will prepare them for those roles. I'd now like to welcome Alvernia Vice President, Interim Dean of the College of STEAM and Chief Operating Officer for the Opaque Institute, and my friend, Dr. Rodney Ridley, to the podium.
Stay for a second. So we're going to go off script just a little bit. Where's John McCluskey? Come out of here, John. So Christian said it best. This project truly is a COVID miracle, but the miracle workers are the three people standing right here who toiled to make this happen. So what a great team, what a great effort, what a great finish. It's all yours, Rodney.
All right. Well, good afternoon, everybody. And thanks, Glenis, for the introduction. John started it, so I'm going off script a little bit, all right? John started it. I didn't start it, right? You heard a word throughout all of the presentations today, and that word was partnerships, right? Partnerships is, I say it all the time, no university Alvernia size could ever pull something like this off without the support of critical partners throughout all the things we do. And one question John inevitably asks me just about every time we talk is, Rodney, how many partners do we actually have, right? How many do we actually have? And the honest answer is, I don't know, but let's see. So do me a favor, help me out here, because this is my boss here, and evaluations are coming up soon, so help me out. If you are a partner in any way, shape, or form with anything that we do here, just raise your hand so we can see. Just raise your hand. Come on. It's more than that. Come on, Jonathan. You're in the incubator. Come on, everybody, raise your hand. Come on. Whitenhammer, you got to have your hand up. Come on, everybody, get your hands up. So do me a favor, John. You could just count, and then you can get it yourself. The number, you'll get the number yourself.
A lot.
All right. So as we stand here today, I'm proud to say from January 2020, a little over a year and a half of operation, the Opaque Institute has helped more than 100 businesses through our student-powered entrepreneurial lab. That includes local entrepreneurs and through partnerships, which you just all saw. And I don't know the number, right? A lot. We are making historic levels of change for our institution, the city of Reading, and the county of Berks. We're very proud of the entrepreneurial ecosystem that we are standing up together with all of our partners, and Reading College Town was a spark of that initiative. We're going to work hand in hand to build new businesses, retain our established businesses, and this type of progress is envisioned, and the community support has been nothing short of remarkable. This is truly a project by Reading and for Reading. And I can't think of a better example of that than our very own Opaque Fellows. And we have a bunch of them here that are kind of sprinkled out throughout the audience. We actually have, where's Max at? Max is here somewhere. I think we have about, yeah, there he is. Max can't sleep at night because he knows he's got to get up to 50 fellows, so he's on the case. And we're almost there, he says. And so that's very important to this. So we have a number of fellows, and the fellows are among our most talented students at Alvernia. They come from a variety of backgrounds and academic disciplines and academic experiences. And just as an example of how good they are and how good the community is, last spring we graduated 10 of our fellows. We graduated 10. All 10 got jobs immediately after they left, and some of them had them before they left, 6 of which make their home here in Reading. So it's not brain drain, it's brain gain from what we're doing. And for us, that's one of the greatest outcomes. And with this facility, as you see it, and you're going to get a chance to tour it, we now have the ability to work side by side with some of the businesses in our entrepreneurial lab. And we now have, some of them have already moved into their spaces, and you'll get to see that this afternoon. And as interim dean of the STEAM and the College of STEAM, I'd be remiss if I didn't share my excitement about the engineering program that has been helped to be shaped and stood up by some of our partners that are here in the audience. And especially those who are part of our industry advisory board of our engineering program. We really want to thank you. And also all of the local community leaders and others and manufacturers that help to shape our program as it's launched. It's fully operational now. I'm proud to say we have almost 20 students in the program that are going to be learning, and I get to teach my first engineering class next semester, so I'm happy about that. So our program fills the gaps in what is a need in our local workforce. One of our partners, where is he at? Told us yesterday that they have a need for over 148 engineers at Intersys. All right, Jordan told me that. And we will have cutting-edge lab spaces, premier comprehensive learning opportunities with local partners, and the ability to change the future of Reading by helping identify and solve problems that are facing our community and the world. And through our collaboration, our students in our incubator and in our engineering program will help to change the world through those partnerships. And there's no doubt that this new learning environment in downtown Reading will be a catalyst for that change. And Berks County and the greater southeastern Pennsylvania region will be better for it as well. So we thank you all for your participation with us. And I'd like to take this opportunity now to welcome one of the members of our industry advisory board with our engineering program. I want to call it Mr. Dave Turner, who John talked about, from First Energy Corporation. Dave.
Thank you. President Loyak, if you build it, they will come. If you build it, they will come. When President Loyak and I first had that cigar, it's been a long time ago, and we talked about the vision for this downtown area and College Town, I was immediately a believer. Being from the Cleveland market and knowing the power of education and seeing robust educational institutions grow their downtown area and impact those communities, I immediately knew that this was something that First Energy needed to be a part of. Since that time, I've been a tireless champion for President Loyak, for the university, for this community. I've had, I want to say, more than 24 of my own personal staff members come through and tour the facility. I've gone out and become an ambassador, talking to other industry leaders about why they should be a part of this, because I can see what can happen here. So with that, this is a momentous day for Alvernia University, for the city of Reading, and for the greater Berks County community. In my short time knowing President Loyak, he is a visionary leader, an amazing champion, and the ambassador, the right man for the right time in the right place. College Town represents a commitment to this university, the community, and the ability for us as industry leaders, business owners, to keep the best and brightest here in Reading, here in Berks County. As Dr. Moran said earlier, as the mayor said earlier, we have an opportunity to keep those folks here who want to be here. And I believe that folks who are raised in Berks County, raised in the city of Reading, want to stay here, where their families are, where their friends are, and they want to see us prosper and grow. As Reading continues its resurgence, we cannot get there without this level of commitment from President Loyac, the trustees, his leadership team, and all members of government, no matter where you are, local, county, state, and federal. So I appreciate all of you for being here. President Loyac opened with a quote, and I'm going to close with one. If you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. Take a moment and look around. We are all here together. We'll all go far together. Thank you, President Loyac, for your vision. Provost Fitzgerald, my man Tom Minnick, Rodney, all these folks I'm proud to call friends and colleagues and partners. First Energy and myself look forward to continued growth of Alvernia and the future of this community. With that, I'm happy to introduce Margarita Cornejo Jimenez. Please come.
I'm little, yeah. Thank you, Mr. Turner. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Margarita. I am a senior majoring in accounting. I am the president of Phi Beta Lambda, and I'm the president of the Multicultural Club. As a Reading native, this building represents great opportunities to both current and future students. My fellow classmates would not only have the ability to experience Reading's beautiful culture with its diverse restaurants like Mi Casa Su Casa, I love your food, and stores, but they will also have the ability to meet and connect with other business owners and entrepreneurs from the area. We're within walking distance of the successful business owners who we can learn from regardless of our major. Reading gives us access to all these resources. So in return, and equipped with Alvernia's core Franciscan values, all students would be honored to give back to the community by volunteering and participating in community projects. We're proud to call this our home. And on behalf of Alvernia's student body, we thank all the supporters of this project who spoke today, and the many more who continue to work behind the scenes for opening these doors that will lead us to success in our future careers. Thank you, and God bless. I would now like to welcome Mr. Fromm back to the podium to conclude today's event.
Well, after a short break, anyone who hasn't spoken will have an opportunity at the microphone. Is Ralph Simpson here? Ralph Simpson, Commissioner Leinbach called this a pandemic miracle, and I think that Ralph Simpson and his company, Warfel Construction, should be recognized for having delivered on that miracle, and all of their contractors and suppliers. What an incredible project. I can tell you that there's no other project I'm involved with that is on time and on budget, and you are to be commended. So thank you. And to everybody who came today, we thank you for taking part in this special occasion. To the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, Governor Tom Wolf, Senator Judy Schwenk, State Representatives Mark Rozzi and Manny Guzman, the Berks County Commissioners, Mayor Moran, City Council, the Reading School District, our dedicated faculty and staff, and numerous community partners that have stepped forward to help Alvernia expand its mission and enhance its student experience. We thank you. If our collective efforts can also spark economic redevelopment, increased collaboration, and a more vibrant downtown Reading, all the better. I think it's safe to say that the future for the city is bright, and Alvernia is delighted to play a key role with Reading College Town. At this time, I'd like to welcome all of our speakers to join me as we cut the ceremonial ribbon and officially open the new downtown home for Alvernia University. Thank you very much.
They should never give me a pair of scissors like this.
Next to John.
John, don't let me hold them because I'll take them.
I'm wondering if we go behind there, it's going to look better. It's okay.
Okay, but then people won't be able to see it. Yeah, I think you got to do it out here.
Okay.
Oh, you're looking, you might not be blind here. Yeah, that was beautiful.
Okay, I mean, okay.
All right, on three, are we ready? Count down with me. 1, 2, 3. Thank you. Put these away before I get hurt.
We welcome everyone in attendance to join us inside for facility tours and a reception. Thank you again.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to do a quick thank you for being part of this.
I have something to share with both of you. No, it's good.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Your Honor.
Thank you. Thank you, Mike. Thank you.
Thank you.
John, thank you, sir.
Good to see you, Jeff. Thank you again.
There's no way to see you. I know, it's fine. It's fine. Like this.
Yeah, perfect.
We're in this together. Oh,
That looks good to me.
Are we all going to go? I did.
This is going to be an epicenter for community service. Can't wait. Awesome.
Thank you again. Khalid, thank you, man. That was great. That was awesome.
First class.
Yeah, awesome. It went great.
No, I appreciate it.
They do this a lot. Hey, Chris, great job. It can really help you with all that kind of information.
We got half ready to speak today, which is great.
Yeah, well, I had to see it.
Well, go ahead.
You know, people at some point were saying, like, what the hell?
Okay, yeah.
But when they saw me,
Yeah, we were.
It's always a good sign. This guy's back. Yeah, we're good.
Exactly.